So we have Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 11, and in this chapter we got a whole lot of action between Himawari versus Jura with her activating her ninetails chakra, Sarada versus Hidari, and as well as with Boruto finally coming back into the story after he recovered from his karma seal activating in the previous chapters. So let's just start from the top with Sarada finally using the ninetails chakra after witnessing Inojin getting impaled by Jura in the previous chapter. Himawari breaks out of captivity and immediately goes over to Inojin, where using her hair, she removes Inojin from the pike and heals the wound instantaneously. And we have seen previous Jinchuriki have a healing factor when it comes to using their tailed beasts. However, Himawari's on a whole nother level because she is able to literally regenerate mass onto Inojin, where instead of having a massive hole where Inojin got stabbed through, it's like nothing was ever there. And even though Himawari was unsure that Inojin was fully healed, the fact that she was able to do this in the first place shows you that she is a completely different Jinchuriki per se compared to somebody like Naruto. Whatever her power is, it is on a completely different level compared to your ordinary Jinchuriki. And after healing Inojin, Himawari realizes that the only way to come out of this alive is for her to fight, because everyone else, when it comes to Team 10, let's be realistic here, they don't have any chance when it comes to taking down Jura. So Himawari makes the right decision by informing Team 10 to leave the battlefield right away, because they know that they don't have a chance when it comes to stopping Jura. Shikadai also comes to that conclusion by saying that they have to minimize their losses in order to not die from the likes of Jura, where even somebody like Jura acknowledges Shikadai's brilliance, saying that it is a wise decision, that they will meet again after saying that he will remember Shikadai's name. Somebody like Chocho, she tries to side with Himawari, saying that she will protect her, she will fight by her side. However, with Himawari activating this power, she's already following the steps of Naruto and Boruto by saying that since this is her power, this is the responsibility that she must carry that comes with it, as someone like Boruto and Naruto have displayed before. Himawari has only seen Naruto and Boruto fight only a few amount of times, such as with Naruto fighting Delta and Boruto during the Chunin exams, and some bits of training when he was sparring with Kawaki in Boruto Part 1. She finally has that understanding, especially with her becoming a ninja, heading into the time skip. She understands that she has the duty in order to survive. And her friendship with Chocho right here is really emotional, since Chocho does not want her friend to die. However, Team 10 does leave the battlefield, leaving Himawari and Jura alone. Before they fight, however, Jura says something very interesting, as we know that he is trying to get more knowledge about the world, right? Jura notes that even though Inojin was warned time and time again not to attack him, he still put himself in a position where he was almost killed, or eventually he did get impaled. And even after that happening, because of Inojin's stupidity, there was a fire that awakened inside of Himawari, hence why she was able to activate the ninetails chakra. Obviously, this was because of the rage that she saw of her friend basically dying, and that allowed her to utilize this power, right? And this is something that Jura does not understand. He's still learning about the world, and he's still noting about what is going on when it comes to these people. This is a morality that I really like when it comes to Jura's character, because he's trying to understand just how humans actually perceive things, especially when in the threat of danger. This was similar to when Team 10 in the earlier chapters were trying to protect Himawari initially from Jura and Hidari. Jura didn't understand it at all, which is why he's still questioning, how do humans think like this? Because at the end of the day, he's still soaking up information about the world and trying to find his own identity. You're gonna see this later with Hidari as well when he's talking with Sarada. Himawari has enough of this. She doesn't care about none of that. She tells him to shut up, and she immediately goes for the swing, and this pushes back Jura just a little bit. And Himawari follows up with another punch that actually sends Jura flying throughout the battlefield. And I love the paneling from Ikimoto, which actually displays some of the destruction from Himawari's power. This is something that we didn't really get much in the Boruto manga, because Ikimoto doesn't really display too much destructive feats, and we've already seen it from the likes of Momoshiki, Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, etc. However, with a transformation like this happening for Himawari for the first time, this is our first major battle, because I really like that Ikimoto is getting a little bit more aggressive when it comes to the destruction, considering that we are at the pinnacle of power scaling when it comes to Boruto. These are the top of the top characters. Himawari, she may not be considered a top tier, however, a character like Jura, that needs to be established, right? And we've already seen a little bit with him using the bijuu bomb. I really like that we're already seeing just a little bit of what Himawari's power. I really do feel it through the panels. Following up the punches from Himawari, Jura immediately flies up and he goes for a dive bomb, where Himawari sees this and forms a bijuu bomb. And even though she is the ninetails Jinchuriki per se, the fact that she's able to control a tailed beast bomb like that instantaneously with her hair as if she's a bijuu herself is very impressive. And we see Jura stop stop in his tracks where he shoots his own bijuu bomb, and we get a Dragon Ball Z like beam clash with the bijuu bombs as they collide in the air. You do feel the impact of it as you see the explosion, as Team 10 is even able to feel the explosion as they are far away from the battlefield as they continue to retreat toward Konoha. And because Himawari is able to control a bijuu bomb, this is impressive according to Jura, because at least when it comes to Jinchuriki powers, he's never seen such rapid development from Jinchurikis before. And Jura follows up with more attacks such as a headbutt, comes from behind and stomps her into the ground, as we see that Jura, to be honest with you, is just playing around with Himawari, where he says that he wanted to release just a little bit, to the point where he wanted to test his true power. We haven't seen Jura fight at full power just yet. He hasn't really been pushed back so far. This is the first time we've seen Himawari put Jura on skates just for a little bit, and this forces Jura to use a little bit more power to the point where Himawari is being put into the ground. Anyways, we cut from that battle to the battle between Sarada versus Hidari. Sarada just uses Hidari to put Hidari into the ground, where Sarada is questioning on who the hell Hidari is. Hidari doesn't answer back, but instead heals the wound instantly by going into the claw marks to get rid of the wound, as if nothing ever happened in the first place. Hidari then notes that Sarada has the Sharingan, and then he finally understands that even though he did use the Chidori, since he didn't have the Sharingan, it was incredibly hard to control the jutsu, which is why he actually missed using the Chidori back in Boruto chapter 10. If you remember last chapter, when Hidari tried to attack Sarada right away, he did use the Chidori, however, he missed simply because he just didn't have the Sharingan. And when you have the Sharingan, the ability to tunnel vision your Chidori into a single strike, which is why the Sharingan is needed in order to use the Chidori properly. Konohamaru then follows up to Hidari by asking him what is his connection to Sasuke Uchiha, where Hidari says that he has no idea who that is, and he actually says that he himself is trying to figure out what exactly he is as a being. He understands that he is a ninetails, he understands the power that he contains, however, he does not know his own identity. This is the world that he has been following, and this is something that he questioned when he first talked to Jura in Boruto chapter 5. After being revealed thanks to Code's claw marks manipulating the ninetails, he was really trying to understand what exactly he was. Jura initially guided him toward that goal of what he actually wants, however, even in front of Sarada, he's still questioning if this is truly something that he actually wants. Sumire then quickly deduces that Hidari is actually targeting Sarada, where Hidari immediately catches Sarada off guard. He creates a claw mark right behind her and then puts her in a state of shock by using a lightning style jutsu, where Sarada even notes that she can't even move her body. And then Fire Ninja number 345 tries to do some attack, and we all know what happens. He gets destroyed instantaneously. Konohamaru follows up with a rasengan, however, Hidari is too quick and gets behind him. But we do get to see a little bit of Konohamaru in this chapter, where he does use a new jutsu we have never seen before called the wind style Rasen barricade, where he does protect himself from Hidari's Chidori. However, even though he didn't really get hit, he is sent back flying into a nearby wall, rendering him unconscious. Anyways, Sumire is then put into a state of shock from Hidari, where both characters are not able to do anything. And then we cut back to the battle with Himawari and Jura, and like with the other battle, it's not looking good for Team Konoha, as Himawari is continuously being put into the ground. And even though Jura is continuing to beat her up, even shooting like mini bijuu bombs into her face and her body, Himawari's healing factor is actually keeping her alive, which Jura even notes on how astounding it is. It's so astounding that it's far beyond the likes of a human or even a Jinchuriki, something almost like what bijuu possess themselves. And this goes back to the theory where I don't even think Himawari is a Jinchuriki like how Naruto and Kushina was. I actually think she's a bijuu herself, since Kurama mentioned in the past few chapters that her and Kurama are actually more or less just one thing together, the body and soul of one. When she's in battle, her hair is representing the ninetails itself, and the fact that she's able to control a bijuu bomb, it shows you that she is far beyond any level of Jinchuriki we have ever seen before, which shows you the potential that she has in terms of power. However, even though she has this new awakened power, Jura notes that she is quite weak. No matter how much she has this healing factor, it is not enough for her to spend this much chakra in order to take down Jura, where even Kurama agrees that they don't have a chance. They're quite clearly outmatched when it comes to fighting Jura, and even though Himawari has taken a quite big leap in power, there's no way that she could take down somebody this strong, especially with Jura barely trying. Yeah, he got pushed around a little bit, but in terms of fighting back, he put in a little bit of his true power, and we saw just how badly Himawari got beat down. It's a valiant effort, however, it was just not enough. Anyways, we cut to Delta and Kawaki trying to head toward Himawari Himawari's location, where Delta is finally actually asking some good questions this time around, where she says that even though Kawaki is heading toward Himawari, what can he actually do? Because if you guys remember, Kawaki already got his ass beat by Jura, and Jura didn't even do anything, and Jura barely tried. Kawaki has been kind of the laughingstock of TBV thus far. He's been getting his ass whooped left, right, and center, and considering that he's already gotten beaten by Jura, Delta asks him, what exactly can he do against a villain like that? And this is where we actually see Boruto fly past both Kawaki and Delta, and you actually get to see the speed of how fast he is flying through the sky, because he's moving so fast that not even Kawaki and Delta can sense that Boruto is even moving that fast. It kind of reminds me of Goku from the Namek saga. When he first arrived on the planet, he was so much more powerful compared to all of the rest of the Z fighters that they were not able to recognize his own power. And as we see Boruto zooming through the sky, he quickly takes Himawari away without Jura even noticing, and then uses flying Raijin Jutsu to teleport to where Sarada is and frees her from Hidari's captive. And this is where we end the chapter with Boruto standing over Sarada, protecting her and Himawari, where it looks like he is going to face off with the likes of Hidari and eventually with Jura. In terms of plot relevance, this felt like another setup chapter. This is a decent chapter in my opinion. It was more or less to establish just how strong these villains were. I made a few discussion videos in the past few weeks about just exactly what Himawari and Sarada can do against these villains. I kind of expected more or less of what exactly happened in this chapter when it comes to Himawari activating this ninetails power. Even though she has displayed her power in this chapter, even though she is shown to be way beyond just a ordinary Jinchuriki, since it looks like she could be a bijuu herself, she is just now on the level of Jura, and that makes perfect sense in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section below. I thought this was another decent chapter, more action heavy, and it sets up for chapter 12, where most likely we will get the battle between Boruto versus Hidari and potentially Jura, and maybe even Kawaki comes into the mix, even though I don't think he's gonna do anything. But let me know what you guys think about this chapter in the comment section below. So if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the bell as well, and have a good day. Peace.